Okay, welcome back to another short essay plan. We take a topic and a particular question and think about how to build really good KAA, knowledge application and analysis, followed by some evaluation. So this one is on the labour market and it concerns the topic of wage elasticity of demand for labour. Here's the question: examine two factors that might influence the wage elasticity of demand for labour in different industries and occupations. For each of these questions, we try to build two separate KAA points and then associate it with and link to some evaluation of each point. So my first point is in this paragraph here. Let me take you through it. I'll start off, by the way, with a clear definition. It always helps. Wage elasticity of demand for labour measures the responsiveness or the sensitivity of employment to a change in the wage rate. In other words, how many people might a firm employ at different wages. The formula is the percentage change in labour demand divided by the percentage change in wages. First paragraph relates to when labour demand is wage elastic, and that is when labour costs for a business are a very high percentage of their total costs. Good examples would be labour intensive jobs such as catering, tourism, care homes, etc. Jobs where the bulk of the work is at the moment done by labour rather than capital. And in that situation, the demand for labour is likely to be wage elastic. Indeed, firms will be sensitive to the wage. They may choose, in fact, to operate with temporary job contracts. You may have come across the idea of 0 hours contracts and a relatively small core of permanent full-time staff. Permanent staff, of course, are a fixed cost to a business, whereas part-time temporary staff are a variable cost. And they do that to control the wage bill and give them greater flexibility in case there's a change in market demand for their products. So point being made is that wage elasticity demand depends on the percentage of labour costs as a share of the firm's total costs. And it's always good to support your analysis paragraph with a good diagram. Here it is showing the employment, the labour demand curve fairly elastic. If, for example, there's a shift in the labour supply curve and the wage rate goes up from W1 to W2, there's quite a big contraction of employment from E1 to E2. Build the evaluation. Always leave a couple of lines in your answer so the examiner can mark this paragraph by paragraph. Evaluation point is that much depends on the market structure in which a business is operating. So consider, for example, a monopoly with market power, making good high levels of supernormal profit, and where the consumer demand for their products is also inelastic. In that scenario, even if there's an increase in wages, the wage bill goes up. For example, there could be an increase in the minimum wage or the living wage. Even if wage costs go up, then this firm might be fairly easily able to pass on the increase in variable costs to consumers by raising their price. So the crucial thing is that in this situation, in fact, if you've got monopoly power, you can probably pass on the higher wage costs. In the building sector, in the construction industry, for example, this might depend on whether the builders have agreed a fixed price contract to complete, perhaps some flats they're completing or perhaps some restoration of a building. If they've got a fixed price contract, of course, they're limited in the extent to which they can pass on any wage increase. That makes them even more sensitive to the wage rate they have to pay. Then you move on to your second KAA point. Again, it's good to flag up for the examiner that you're making a second factor and also link back to the question. That gives the examiner confidence that you're always linking back to the precise question that's being asked. A second factor affecting wage elasticity of demand is the ease and cost of factor substitution. In other words, how easily and quickly and cheaply might a firm be able to switch from labour as an input to capital, technology, for example, as an input. Now, if a firm finds it both difficult and costly to substitute capital inputs for people, then the demand for labour will tend, other things being the same, will tend to be wage inelastic. As shown in my diagram, a nice little phrase to use there that just points the examiner to your next analysis diagram. Good example would be a warehouse, for example, that's thinking about installing robotics or installing automated systems. It really is very expensive. It's a big fixed cost to do that. You have to justify it. And actually, in the short run, it might be hard to justify a significant increase in capital spending. Instead, the business might just try to increase productivity of their existing workers before committing themselves to a major capital labour substitution. The evaluation point is that actually over time it's becoming easier for labour to be replaced by capital. We are seeing rapid, fast-paced changes in robotics, the widespread adoption of machine learning, artificial intelligence. That's cutting the time lag between the decision to replace some people with cutting-edge capital technologies. And a lot of businesses now, instead of committing to buying the technology, they can lease technology. They don't have to meet the full purchase price. That reduces the cost of doing this. And if this is the case, then labour demand may become more, not less, more sensitive to changes in wages. Good example, as minimum wages rise, then that might fast forward the use of scanning technologies in supermarkets, perhaps. And also, of course, in the security industry, it might become relatively cheaper to use up to the minute cameras and sensors, motion sensors. They could replace security guards. So there we go. We found two examples of factors affecting wage elasticity of demand for labour. Two diagrams, some good applied examples, two relevant evaluation points. We're in good shape for an excellent answer.